When was the last time you sat in complete silence and did not reach for something to distract you? Not your phone, not a thought, not a worry to chew on, just silence. And in that silence, did you feel a low hum of unease rising in your chest, asking to be acknowledged? That hum has a name. The world calls it anxiety, but Jung would call it something else entirely. Jung would call it a message. Your anxiety is not your enemy. Read that again, slowly, and let it land. Your anxiety is not your enemy. It is the most loyal messenger your soul has ever sent you, and you have been treating it like an intruder. Carl Jung believed that the psyche does not whisper for no reason. When something inside you trembles, when your nervous system will not let you rest, when your chest tightens for no clear cause, that is not malfunction. That is a signal. That is the deeper self trying against everything that has been done to silence it, to reach you. And tonight, you're going to learn how to listen, not how to fight it, not how to numb it, how to listen. Because there is a lesson here that few dare to follow, and fewer still are willing to live. The lesson is this: the restlessness you carry is not a flaw in your design. It is a door. And on the other side of that door is the life your soul has been begging you to claim. You already know the feeling. You wake up and before your eyes are fully open, it is already there. A weight on your chest, a buzz beneath your skin, a vague, unnamed dread that follows you into the kitchen, into the car, into rooms full of people you are supposed to love. You smile, you go through the motions, you answer the messages, but underneath, something is pacing. Something inside you will not sit down. You have tried to make it stop. You have meditated. You have run. You have poured another glass of wine. You have scrolled until your eyes burned. You have read the books and downloaded the apps and listened to the experts who told you to breathe in for 4 and out for 8. And for a little while, the noise quiets, but it always comes back. And it comes back because you have not yet asked it what it wants. Understand this. You are not weak. You are not broken. You are not failing at being a calm person. You are living in a world that was engineered to disconnect you from yourself. A world that rewards performance and punishes feeling. A world that fills every silent moment with content so that you never accidentally hear what is inside you. Of course you are restless. You have been cut off from your own depths. And the part of you that knows this, the part that remembers who you were before all of this noise, is sounding the alarm. That alarm is what you call anxiety. But the alarm is not the problem. The alarm is the proof that something inside you is still alive, still awake, still refusing to go quietly. And that, beloved, is the beginning of everything. Think about it. If you truly did not care, you would not be anxious. If your soul had truly given up, there would be no signal at all. There would only be numbness. The very fact that something in you is restless is the proof that something in you is still reaching for a truer life, reaching for a self that has not yet been allowed to exist. That reaching is sacred, even when it feels unbearable, especially when it feels unbearable. But no one taught you this. They taught you that the feeling was the problem. They taught you to medicate it, manage it, master it, make it stop. They taught you that a peaceful person is a quiet person, and a quiet person is a person whose inner messengers have been silenced. So you went to war with yourself. You spent years trying to defeat the very part of you that was trying to save you. And the harder you fought, the louder the alarm became. Because that is what alarms do, when no one comes. So let us turn the lens. What if your anxiety is not a disorder? What if it is an orientation? A compass needle trembling not because it is broken, but because it is pointing at the parts of your life that no longer fit. The job that drains the color out of you. The relationship that asks you to shrink. The version of yourself you keep performing because someone long ago taught you it was the only version that would be loved. Jung taught us that the unconscious is always communicating. It speaks in dreams. It speaks to symptoms. It speaks in the body when the mind refuses to listen. When you bury a truth long enough, it does not disappear. It moves. It moves into your shoulders, into your jaw, into the racing heart at 3 a.m. when there is no danger anywhere in the room, and yet your whole body is preparing to flee. That fleeing is not random. Your body is trying to flee a life that is not yours. And until you understand that, you will keep treating the messenger as the problem. You will keep silencing the very voice that has been sent to save you. Here is the truth. Your anxiety is intelligence. It is the part of you that has not yet agreed to the bargain everyone around you accepted long ago. The bargain that says, keep performing, keep producing, keep pretending. The bargain that trades wholeness for approval. Some part of you, somewhere deep inside, never signed that contract. And every time you try to live as if you did, that part rises up in protest. That protest is what you have been calling anxiety. It deserves a better name. Call it the soul, refusing to be abandoned again. And once you hear it that way, everything changes. The trembling in your hands is no longer something to be ashamed of. The racing thoughts at night are no longer a malfunction. The tightness in your chest is no longer a sign that you are broken. They are dispatched. They are the language your unconscious uses when the conscious mind has stopped listening. They are the only way your deeper self has left to reach you. And they will not stop until you turn toward them. Not away, toward. But before you can hear what your restlessness is trying to say, you must first confront your shadows. There is no shortcut here. Jung described the shadow as everything in you that you have refused to look at. The anger you swallowed because anger was not welcome in your house. The sadness you hid because sadness made others uncomfortable. The desires you buried because they did not match the story you were told to tell about yourself. The parts you cast out, hoping that if no one saw them, they would somehow stop existing. But Jung reminds us that what you push down does not disappear. It waits. And it waits in the dark, growing stronger, demanding more of your energy to keep contained. The more you exile, the more it costs you to keep the exile in place. That cost has a name too. The cost is anxiety. You are not anxious because something is wrong with you. You are anxious because you are carrying the weight of everything you have refused to feel. Every grief you did not let yourself grieve. Every truth you did not let yourself speak. Every dream you talked yourself out of. Every version of yourself you killed to make others comfortable. They are all still there, inside you, waiting to be seen. And the trembling you feel is the trembling of a door that will not stay closed any longer. Jung believed that the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. That cave is your own interior, the place you have spent your life avoiding, the room inside yourself with the door you have not opened since you were a child. The anxiety is not telling you to run. The anxiety is telling you to enter. And when you do enter, slowly, gently, without violence to yourself, something extraordinary happens. The thing you feared turns out to be a part of you that has been waiting all this time to be welcomed home. The shadow is not your enemy. The shadow is your exiled self. And once you stop running from it, the restlessness begins to soften. Not because the shadow has been defeated, because the shadow has finally been seen. This is the work no one tells you about. This is the work that does not fit on a productivity podcast. This is the slow, patient work of becoming whole. And it begins the moment you stop trying to silence what is inside you and start trying to understand it. So here is something to consider the next time the anxiety rises. Instead of asking, how do I make this stop? Ask, what part of me is trying to be heard? Ask it gently. Ask it like you would ask a frightened child why they came to your door in the middle of the night. Not, why are you bothering me? But what do you need to tell me? The answer may not come in words. It may come as an image, a memory, a sudden knowing about a part of your life you have refused to examine. Whatever rises, do not push it back down. That is the shadow beginning to speak. And once the shadow can speak, it no longer has to scream. Now take a moment. Think of what you are still holding that you know, somewhere beneath the noise you are meant to release. The relationship that asks you to be smaller than you are. The friendship that only flowers when you are struggling and withers when you are thriving. The job that pays your bills and quietly drains your years. The belief, planted in you so long ago that you no longer remember who planted it, that you are too much or not enough, or only lovable when useful. Each of these is a weight, and every weight you refuse to set down becomes another reason your nervous system will not rest. Your anxiety is not asking you to do more. Your anxiety is asking you to let go of more. There is a difference, and the difference will save your life. Jung urges us to remember that the answers you seek externally are already within you. You do not need another book. You do not need another technique. You need permission. Permission to release what is not yours. Permission to grieve what you have already lost. Permission to stop apologizing for the size of your own soul. Change is not an ending. Change is a doorway. And every doorway you have refused to walk through has not made you safer. It has only made you more restless. Because the soul knows. The soul always knows. And the soul will not let you mistake stagnation for peace. So today, in this quiet moment, ask yourself what your restlessness is asking you to release. Not what to add, not what to achieve, what to release. The answer will rise, slowly, from underneath the noise. And when it does, do not argue with it. Do not negotiate. Simply listen. That is the beginning of the new life. And understand, letting go is not the same as giving up. Giving up is closing the door. Letting go is opening your hand. Giving up says, I do not matter. Letting go says, this no longer matters more than I do. There is a vast difference. One leaves you smaller, the other returns you to yourself. And here is where something remarkable begins. The moment you stop fighting your anxiety, the moment you start treating it as a signal rather than a symptom, the world around you begins to shift. Jung had a name for this. He called it synchronicity, meaningful coincidence, the strange, uncanny way the outer world begins to mirror your inner work. You will be thinking of someone you have not spoken to in years, and they will message you the same afternoon. You will be wondering whether to leave the thing that has been draining you, and a stranger will say the exact sentence you needed to hear, in line at the coffee shop, in the back of a taxi, on a podcast you almost did not play. A book will fall off a shelf in front of you. A song will come on at the moment you need its words. The same number will keep appearing. The same image, the same name. Jung believed these are not random. He believed that when the inner world and the outer world align, when you have made some hidden truth conscious, the universe responds, not with fireworks, with whispers. Small, undeniable signals that you are on the path. And here is what is important to understand. These signals were always there. You were just too anxious to see them. The same restlessness that has been tormenting you was also the static drowning out the signal. Once you begin listening to your anxiety instead of fighting it, the static fades, and what is left underneath is a quieter, deeper frequency. Call it the soul. Call it the unconscious. Call it whatever you need to call it. But know that it is real. And know that it has been waiting for you for a very long time. Now, the truth no one wants to say out loud. This path is not easy. It is not a weekend retreat. It is not a single decision made in a moment of clarity. It is a slow, sometimes painful unwinding of everything you were taught to be. You will look back at choices you made and feel a sharp shame rising. The years you spent in the wrong relationship. The decade you gave to work that meant nothing to you. The friendships you maintained out of habit. The version of yourself you performed so convincingly that you forgot it was a performance. The shame will come. Let it come. But do not let it stay. Jung reminds us that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. What you are calling regret is actually awakening. You did not waste those years. You learned in the only way you could learn what was not yours. And now you know. Now you cannot unknow. That is not loss. That is initiation. There will be moments, many of them when the old patterns call you back, when the familiar discomfort feels safer than the unknown peace, when you almost pick up the phone to call the person you swore you would not call again, when you almost say yes to the thing you know is wrong for you, when you almost shrink, almost apologize, almost disappear back into the smaller life you outgrew. This is where most people turn around. They mistake the resistance for a sign that they were wrong to begin. They are not wrong. The resistance is the proof that they are close. The old self does not surrender quietly. It will bargain. It will plead. It will use every voice you have ever trusted to talk you out of the doorway. Jung taught us that which you do not bring to consciousness will come to you as fate. So bring it. Bring the fear into the light. Bring the doubt into the open. Name it. Hold it. Do not run from it and do not obey it. Simply see it for what it is, the dying gasp of a self that is no longer needed, and keep walking. You might be wondering how long this takes. How many mornings of waking up uncertain? How many nights of doubting yourself? There is no clean answer. But here is what is true. Every time you choose the deeper path over the easier one, every time you listen to the signal instead of silencing it, you are not starting over. You are climbing. Even when it feels like standing still. Even when it feels like sliding back. Some part of you is moving forward in a direction the surface mind cannot see. Trust that. Trust it, especially in the moments when trust is hardest. And as you walk, you will begin to notice something. Your no will return. The no you lost somewhere in childhood. The no you traded for love. The no that got buried under 1,000 small accommodations. It will come back, quietly at first. A flicker of refusal where there used to be automatic yes. A pause where there used to be a panicked agreement. A boundary where there used to be only erosion. This is the inner voice returning. The quiet voice from deep within your unconscious. The one Jung pointed toward again and again. The one that has been trying to reach you under all the noise. And as you begin to honor it, your life will start to rearrange itself. Some relationships will deepen. Some will fade. Some people will leave. And you will feel the ache of their leaving. And underneath the ache, you will feel something else. Relief. The right people are coming. The ones who can meet you where you actually are, not where you have been pretending to be. They will appear, sometimes in the most unexpected ways. A new friend at a moment when you assumed you were done making new friends. A conversation with a stranger that opens something in you. A community you did not know you were looking for. But for them to arrive, the wrong ones must leave. And for the wrong ones to leave, you must stop performing the version of yourself that attracted them. This is the part that hurts. This is the part the soft, comforting voices on the internet will not warn you about. Becoming yourself means becoming, to some people, unrecognizable. And some of those people will not follow you into the new life. Let them go. Let them go with love. Let them go without explanation. The soul does not need to justify its evolution to anyone. Your anxiety all this time has been trying to tell you who you are not, the relationships you should not be in, the work you should not be doing, the self you should not be performing. Stop arguing with it. Listen, it has been right about more than you wanted to admit. And as the no returns, so does the yes. The real yes, the one that does not come from your mouth before your soul has even been consulted. The yes that arrives slowly from somewhere lower than your throat, somewhere closer to your center. You will know it when it comes. It does not need to argue. It does not need to convince. It simply knows. And once you have felt that yes, even once, the false yeses you have lived by your whole life will never sound the same again. You will hear them now, the hollow ring of them, and one by one you will set them down. And on the other side of all of this, a life is waiting. Not a perfect life. There is no such thing, a real one. A life in which you wake up and your chest is not tight. A life in which silence is no longer threatening because there is nothing inside you that is screaming to be heard. A life in which the synchronicities are no longer rare events, but daily companions. The right book at the right moment. The right person at the right corner. The right thought arriving the instant you needed it. Jung believed that when you align with your own deeper self, the universe meets you halfway. Not because the world has changed, because you have. You begin to perceive the signals that were always there. You begin to recognize the soul speaking through the everyday. The crow that lands in your yard when you are just thinking of your grandmother. The phrase you keep hearing in 3 different places in one day. The dream that gives you the exact answer your waking mind refused to find. This is what was waiting on the other side of your anxiety. Not the absence of feeling, the presence of meaning. Your restlessness was the threshold, and every night you spent staring at the ceiling, every morning you woke up with that weight in your chest, was your soul refusing to let you live a life that was not yours. That is not a curse. That is grace wearing the only costume you would not ignore. So tonight, before you sleep, do not try to make the feeling go away. Sit with it. Place your hand on your chest. Breathe slowly and ask, gently, what it is trying to tell you. The answer will not come in a flash. It will come the way real answers always come. Slowly, over days, in images and intuitions, and the quiet rearrangement of what feels true. If something in this stirred you, if some part of you woke up while you were listening, leave a comment with one word. Just one. The word that describes what you are ready to release. Share this with someone you love who has been carrying their own restlessness for too long. Subscribe to the Soul Signal Show and turn on the bell so the next message reaches you when your soul most needs it. Your anxiety was never your enemy. It was the most faithful signal your soul ever sent. Listen to it and come home to yourself.